China showcased their 6th gen stealth bomber.
Hey, bro.
Amid air trade, eruption. Amid the trade tensions, and it's so good to know that we are moving at a steady pace towards World War III. And I mean, at this point,
wait, what?
Like, there are many things that are not certain in this world. But all is certain. Like this, like now you know if should that day come, the best you can hope for is the quick release. That's gonna be fast. But anyway, I mean, there's tensions, and I'm usually interested in like war technology because, in a sense, I think they represent a kind of innovation that comes, let me sort of desperation, because your success is literally measured through how much destruction you can cause. And a lot of technology, a lot of innovation is driven by war. And so to hear that they have a cell phone, I mean, the technology might find, I find it interesting, but the implications of that, well, we'll find out soon, okay. Won't we?
I mean, let's wait and see. For me, another thing that really caught my interest was an announcement. I don't even think it's not even an official close, but OpenAI announced the closure of a $40 billion funding round that's been led by SoftBank. I think SoftBank has committed.
How much have they committed?
30 B. And then I think the 10 is through like a consortium of other companies, probably like previous guys like Microsoft doing follow-ons, and I think Quatu and like a bunch of other companies, right?
But why should we care? Like, why is this different from any other
The reason why
VC
number one,
backed?
this is like really, really big. First of all, this is like record breaking, like this is the largest private tech funding round at 40 billion, because their post-money valuation is now like at 300. If this round, 300 billion. That's just below SpaceX. And dude, this is a private company still. It's not public, it's not IPO'd, right? So, in many sense of word, this is still hot air valuation. Like, this 40 billion could just like shower, bro. It could like go into the drains, if they don't live up to the valuation.
Do you think they live up to the valuation?
No, that's the more interesting thing. So, Anthropic announced like a round of, I think, was it a $4.5 billion round or something? And they were arguably, Anthropic is arguably like OpenAI's anti-bet. Like in this race towards
the lift
AGI.
to the Uber.
Yeah, it's the lift to the Uber. So anyone who's betting with Anthropic is also betting with the belief that this AI, AGI race is not going to be like one person wins and takes it all, but more like multiple people. So that's what I think is quite interesting about it. And I'm finding it a very, I don't know, like I think the valuation is too big a risk to try and grow into. So I'm not bullish on it, to be honest. But after seeing what they did with the new features, they got like 500 million new users. 500 million users. I actually have to fact check that.
That can't be right.
Like, no. It was like 1 million new users in an hour after they dropped the image gen thing. And bro, that thing just destroyed Midjourney. The studio, everyone was doing studio, is it Studio Ghibli or Ghibli? Studio Ghibli, but it's not even that, bro. Even any animation style, it's so good. But anyway, is that AGI? I doubt it. But let's see.
Sorry,
but it's contingent. But the thing about this round as well is that it's very interesting because it has some unexpected details. It's conditional. They really haven't closed the money until they become like an okay company, because we all know about, we can do a deep dive in a later episode or something, but they have a very weird company structure. So until they fully transition to become like a for-profit company, is when SoftBank will actually inject that 30. And there's going to be like a 10 billion cut if they don't achieve certain milestones. So it's quite interesting. I don't think it's like...
There's strings attached.
Yeah,
it's
there's
not just a typical run-of-the-mill
There's a bunch of layers of complexity in that deal. But anyway, still, 40 billion, I think they're probably signaling to Anthropic or competitors, that our raise is basically 2/3 of your whole valuation. Bro, we could buy your company. Bro, it's just so much fun. Though.
You guys are a research department.
Yeah, man. You guys you're an arm.
I think it just speaks to we talk about second mover advantage, but first mover advantage is when you strike it right.
It's good.
ChatGPT has become synonymous with AI.
Yeah.
And so they're just carrying it's like they're carrying the hopes of the entire industry in their valuation.
Yeah.
There's a new standard, the GPMI, that's meant to combine HDMI, Thunderbolt, and the DisplayPort and make them obsolete.
Wait. HDMI, Thunderbolt,
and the DisplayPort.
So Thunderbolt is like USB-C, like the USB-C port.
Yeah.
Okay.
And when you look at it,
but we didn't. And we just like getting to a place where now USB-C is now like the global standard. So why are we like? I'm just saying
we're moving too slow. Okay, I'm
saying global standard because Apple finally started adding like USB-C.
Now that Apple has joined the bandwagon, suddenly it's like maybe we need a new standard. So
okay. So I'm really interested in that.
So we have it's about I think 50 companies in China that are pushing to have that standard.
China.
We shall see. In my mind, I look at it and I'm like, when they say there were 13 competing standards, so we made one standard to rule them all, and now we have 14 competing standards.
14?
That's the vibe I get, yeah.
Oh, like you mean now with the ports thing?
Yeah, so it's meant to be a standard to combine them, and yet I just think it's just going to be a new standard, just another standard.
Okay, let's. I don't know. I don't think it will catch fire. Mostly because it's come from 50 Chinese companies. Okay, let's be. No, that's a hot take. But actually, no, let's get into it. Mostly what happens is a lot of Western innovations catch fire and then Chinese companies just run wild with it. So I don't know, man.
You're saying it can't happen. It can't happen in reverse.
I'm just saying it's so interesting to see it happen in reverse.
I don't have an opinion about.
Yeah, I don't know. It's argumentative.
No, the thing about standards is that it's very hard to tell which ones are adopted. Human beings are very weird in that we can say we have a new standard, but people will adopt very obsolete or very niche things and make that the standard, even though you might find that there's something else that clearly works. Up until today, we keep talking about metric versus imperial. Like we can't agree on one standard. So for me, I just think let's wait and see.
Okay.
But I'm happy with the USB-C.
I think I can wait and see for that. But that's quite interesting. I saw a Twitter post by the CEO of Shopify, Tobi Lütke, or is it Tobi Lütke? And he was talking about how reflexive AI usage in that company is now a mandatory policy. It was quite interesting, actually. So he was talking about how before they even increase the headcount in the company, you must validate why you couldn't do that particular task with an AI or an autonomous agent. And then AI usage is going to be integrated in the performance reviews and peer reviews of the business. So making proficiency in using AI tools and chatbots like a company requirement. And the final thing is just basically talking about how it's now like a crazy multiplier for productivity, and it goes on and on. But I found that to be quite interesting because it really tied well.
It's the first time we're seeing actual
now implications in the real world and in business environments.
Or actual policy.
Exactly. It's no longer now a suggestion. It's now being implemented as part of, this is now how businesses are being run. And
if I got it right, it was meant to be private.
Which means that's actually the best
even
part.
More serious.
So it was a leak of an internal memo from the business that now just caught fire, and he had to even come out and do a post. And what's crazy about it is that I also saw a bunch of CEOs like kind of falling in line because everyone had been thinking and doing this internally. But, it only took one person to, lay the dominoes. And so him coming out and saying that is quite an interesting. We did a prediction that in 2-3 years, this is going to be commonplace. Autonomous agents, when you're talking about agentic AI. But seeing now that someone is actually making this company policy, I was just thinking about the impact on jobs, how many less people are going to be hired now? Yeah. Because you have to prove a use case as to why you couldn't use AI to see those tasks being done.